Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti and this is channel chat 99. If you guys are new here, I am the face, the voice, and the hands behind all the content here under Infiniti Crafting Co. and behind my blog, InfinityCraftingCompany.com. Today I have a lot to get through and hopefully I'll remember everything. As you guys know, I tend to digress often into other little mini monologues. So we'll see how today's channel chat goes. This is the last channel chat that I'll be doing before my summer break. And for those of you who maybe haven't been around as long, I have been at this channel thing since 2018, and at the time I was trying to graduate and I decided that after such a tough school year I was going to just take June off, kind of my own little summer vacation, and then get back to the content creation part of my small business. So that's just been a running tradition for me. I'm still in school, fun times, and this year is no different. I need a break. I am ready to kick back and relax a little bit. I've been just doing a lot of stuff since the beginning of the semester, and it's been one heck of a semester. So, you know, I'm just glad that I was able to ride it out for so long, but it's definitely time for Infiniti to kick back. This also gives me my time to plan out content for the second half of the year, because I know I'm going to be busy next semester. My schedule is just loaded, unfortunately, so at least I know that beforehand, so I can kind of account for that and try to make content up so it'll be readily available for you guys. Speaking of you guys, there are over 7,500 of you now here on the channel, and I want to say just a huge thank you. I didn't think when I started this channel that I'd be sitting up talking in front of thousands, literally thousands of people. That was not my MO when I set out to crochet on the internet, but it's grown to this point and I am more than grateful, and I'm so happy that you guys have decided that I am worthy of your time. So I hope I will be able to continue to create the content that you enjoy and subscribe for. If you're not subscribed here, go ahead and do that, because I do upload pretty frequently. Usually my content schedule is Sundays for crochet and Wednesdays for knitting. I know I haven't uploaded any knitting tutorials probably since that short that I did. I have not been in the mode of knitting tutorials lately. It's just been a time crunch thing, and by the time I had the time, I was just like, okay, there's 2 weeks left. So when I come back, there will be more knitting content, so don't worry about that. That will be out there, I promise. So I've gotten this episode already kind of mixed around a little bit because, of course, I always write down little notes. I don't have a script. Typically when I do my channel chats, I don't really do scripts well at all. I don't know. It's just weird. It feels robotic, I guess. So I usually kind of go off the cuff and just have my little talking points on a list or something like that. So this is my little half sheet of paper for channel chat 99. So I also wanted to bring up, glad I have the paper. I also wanted to bring up my pattern sale that I ran through the end of April through the end of May. Thank you so much for everybody who has participated in said sale. That definitely helps keep content going. I've been writing a number of patterns, so it helps with putting that stuff out and just in general expenses with what I do behind the scenes with Infiniti Crafting Co. And I appreciate it so much. Today is the last day of that sale, so if you're wanting to pick up a couple of my patterns or something, then it still runs through midnight, and just between me and you, it applies to the whole store, because, you know, sometimes sorting out coupon codes and technical stuff is not my forte, and sometimes it is. So anyway, it's a little secret I've had all month long. Anyway, thanks again for everybody who did participate. This sale also applies to my Etsy shop, but my patterns are mostly available on my website. I don't know, last year, wow, it's been a year already. Anyway, last year I started my own blog so that I can better manage my pattern releases and the pricing and things like that. And so, anyway, if you want to support me, best way to do it is through my website. But if you only shop on Etsy, I do still have my Etsy shop up, though all of my patterns are not available over there. Alright, so let's get into this, because I'm going to start rambling in just one moment. I already went through the whole hiatus thing. I take off and I live my best life. I kick back, enjoy the AC. This year, okay, so this year I had an idea. So I'm like, okay, I wanna grow, I wanna expand and try new things. So I figured that this year I would actually create a few videos for the length of hiatus. Usually I just ditch my channel, like literally just ditch it for an entire month. And in the past I was pretty cool, but like now I'm growing at almost like 500 subscribers a month or so, and I don't want my channel to get lost to the void per se, though I do need a break. So there are some scheduled things that I have come up with that I will be having published. Even though I'll be MIA throughout the month of June, I'll still have a couple of videos that come up here and there, but just not as frequently as the tutorial content that goes up normally. So that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys. No spoilers, because spoilers are not cool. I look. Another thing, you guys might also be wondering why I'm on the floor. And I have a good explanation for that. Usually I don't, but today I do. So as you guys may know, February was a month of just chaos, so I ended up having to kind of switch around things in the studio to avoid water damage, and then things have been in disarray since then, and I literally didn't have the time to do anything. I was only at my table for that one channel chat. I realize I'm saying a lot, but anyway, I was only at my table for that one channel chat, and now I'm down here on the floor in front of my other yarn shelf. I've come to some revelations, okay? First and foremost, I have a lot of yarn. I have a lot of yarn, and I'm gonna have to do some things to store it, because it's taking over. It's taking over, and I'll keep finding whips that I've forgotten about, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, hi, welcome to the club. And so anyway, I want to get my studio life together, because I just need some organization in my life, okay? I love everything about getting on camera, because I am a hot mess most of the time, and it shows in the bloopers that I never release because I am easily embarrassed. So, okay, where was I? So, in the spirit of getting some organization in my life, I decided to finally overhaul my studio back in 2020, the beginning of February 2020. Anyway, I got this side of the basement, and I decided to move from my little craft corner in my bedroom, move it over here, because I was growing way beyond the little corner of my bedroom, and it was just time to spread my wings. And so in the last 2 years, I have just been rearranging and moving and figuring things out and trying to see how I like things as far as the whole recording setup. I have been able to, thankfully, get things like fixed around my house, which is something that's important to me, because I like to be able to help out and get things done around my house. So I'm very grateful I've been able to do that, and that is in part, again, because of the support that I get from my community. But like with the lighting and stuff, I've gotten different tech stuff, which I published blogs about on my website. Got the electricity fixed for the most part, and I've had just this section where I've been recording for the last couple of years that you guys have, most of you have become most familiar with. I think most of my audience has probably been like the later half of 2020 forward, yeah, I should say. So a lot of you probably don't remember what I used to record in. Anyway, I have plans for this space, and to be honest, I have like a small bedroom's worth of space that has been unutilized for the last 2 years because of large furniture that I was stuck with and unable to get rid of, and yeah, that's gotta go. So I'm excited to get that part of my studio excavated so that I can kind of spread out and rearrange my different stations and things like that, because I want to get back into making my little resin jars, and I want to get back into doing my salves and stuff, and so that just requires space and storage areas and things like that. Also, my inventory shelf, I'm going to switch that probably around. I'm probably going to end up using the two shelves that sit behind my craft table as my yarn shelves, and then this really big tall shelf that I'm leaning against is going to probably be for my inventory, because I have so many hats and scarf sets and stuff like that from previous years where usually I take hiatus to sit up and make stuff to sell. Before it was on my Etsy, and then now it's on my website. And I literally have so much stuff that I have made up over the last, I don't know, several months, whatever. And it's got to go, but I think as far as storage, it would be better if it was stored on this shelf. And then this shelf is going to get moved. This shelf will not live here any longer. I'm actually going to have to dismantle this whole wall space that I have over here. So all my frames, all my artwork and stuff is going to have to go all the way to the other side of the room, and it's going to be chaotic. So that I'm going to try to take the whole month to get my life together with that. And that's going to be super fun, because I actually like to sit up and organize, as you guys might have been able to tell. I tend to take down and rearrange my yarn shelves quite frequently, and then everything's done by color because I'm weird, and you know, I'm just embracing that now. I really am. I like that weird part of my personality. So yeah, and you know, sometimes I forget that I have a second yarn shelf that's off camera over here, and the other day I came over here and I'm like, wait a minute, something's strange, and I'm like, okay, alright, I have more yarn than I know what to do with at the moment. And I swear, when I bought the stuff, they were for specific projects, but since I decided to switch over my focus last year to mostly pattern design, I've come to realize that some of those projects probably won't happen. They might still happen, but I don't know. It just depends. I'm working on different ways to like get my messages out there, I guess, so to speak, because like I host sales and I run paid ads sometimes, and that doesn't work. But usually the short form content that I put out on Instagram, it gets a lot of traffic, and so that's promising, I guess, in some ways. Definitely less of an expense than paid ads, because no, I just have a love-hate relationship with paid ads. Also, like with the YouTube shorts, I've put out a few. I still put out a few here and there, very sporadically, but when I was trying to do it consistently, I had a very difficult time with that. It was not working out. So anyway, I've just noticed over the span of time they get way more views than like my regular standard videos, and so I'm going to use those kind of in a way to just kind of share my pattern designs and things like that, or my items that I do actually make, because I do want to move them off of my shelves. I would love to get rid of every single last one, and I guess eventually I'll donate them if I can't get rid of it. But stuff like my shawls and like my baby blanket sets and stuff like that, I would love to be able to sell those, because that was one of the main purposes of making those, aside from possibly doing other tutorials with them, or just doing product photos or something. So anyway, so there's that. I have a whole list of things to talk about, and I feel like I started rambling somewhere. Where were we? About halfway down this page. Okay, I'm gonna get to my whips in a minute, but before I do, okay, during this time when I'm not uploading on YouTube, I'm usually most active on Instagram. However, I've been sitting up today and just doing a lot of blog content, so that stuff will be scheduled out throughout the month of May, and I'm excited to release that, get some more activity on my blog, because, you know, that's partially why I started it in the first place, was to, you know, post my whips and things that maybe I don't post on social media or on the YouTube channel or whatever. And I, you know, admittedly have been slacking. So anyway, I get to pick up on that and kind of strategically schedule things throughout the rest of the year, because unlike my other platforms that I engage with, my website doesn't have a cap so I can schedule into the future indefinitely with things, and that definitely works to my advantage when it comes to certain patterns and stuff, because I don't really like releasing cold weather patterns in the summer. Like, I work on them during the summer, I design them during the summer, but I don't like to release them because it's just weird. Nobody's making heavy garments in the summer. So anyway, speaking of garments, oh my gosh, I have whips. I have a few down here on the floor with me. Some of them I'm gonna have to pop pictures up somewhere on either side, because either there are things attached to them now that would give spoilers to what's to come, and I don't want to spoil things yet, or, you know, they're stowed away at the moment because I'm not actively working on them at the moment. One of those things is a poncho that I am working on. It was a project that my mom asked me to do in January, and I was working on it, but the colors, the colors, they were black and navy, and I think I'm still traumatized from that black, navy, and purple blanket that I made for somebody years ago and then like skipped and paid me. So I think that color combination just triggers something back there. I don't know, but either way, I didn't want to work on it, so I was doing it very slowly, and then school started and I had like 3 half semester classes, so I was not trying to really crochet during those 8 weeks. But then my mom passed, and then I really didn't want to touch it, just because I was just in a space. Okay, I took a whole month off in the middle of the semester. You guys might remember that, partially because of that. And once I kind of got out of that, I was like, okay, I need to finish this. I was gonna finish it for my stepdad's birthday, but it's summer, and so again, nobody's wearing yarn. Nobody's wearing that kind of yarn in the heat of summer, and then especially in Missouri where it's always humid and sweltering and disgusting. Nobody's wearing thick yarn during that time period, so I thought that maybe I would get it stitched up and get it together for Christmas present or something like that, because she commissioned me for it, but I'm like, I'm not charging for that. Now it would be really awkward. So anyway, I look forward to finishing that. I'm actually enjoying working on it now more so. I got the front panel done on it, so I'm going to do a matching back panel. And there's a blog post that I go more in depth on that project. I think it comes out Saturday. So if you're not signed up for my newsletter or subscribed to my blog, consider doing that so you don't miss pattern drops and whips that I may not post on Instagram, because I don't know. I haven't decided. I think last year maybe I took a break during my hiatus on Instagram. I don't know. Last year I was kind of put out of commission. I don't know why, like 2020 and 2021, I just wasn't feeling the best in June, and so I was out of commission. I was not in my studio, and I didn't get a lot done, not as much as I wanted to get done anyway. But this year I am doing well, and so I am getting things done. I'm, aside from the poncho, I'm also working on, I am working on a bolero. And the funny thing is, it's actually a spin-off pattern. So there's this pattern that I'm working on that I don't want to spoil, so I'm not going to be showing the next stages of this pattern. But I decided that this beginning stage of this pattern would be a good spin-off pattern, so that's going to be a freebie. And I haven't decided if I'm going to release it in June or if I'm going to release it in July after I come back. The Genesis top I'm definitely going to be releasing in July, and I'll talk about that one and show that one off in just a second here. Super excited about that other project, though, that I can't show off. I know I'm being mysterious, but the only thing that I can tell you guys is that, you know, circles. Don't ask me why I sat up and crocheted circles, or why I thought that this was, I don't know, my next big idea, but I thought it would be a fun thing to take on, and I talked about it a little bit. I think I talked about it a little bit in Channel Chat 98, if I'm not mistaken, but I collectively, the idea of it I'm enjoying. So, and like the more circles I create, the quicker they go by. So I think by the time I'm done with this, I will be over the moon with this design. But yeah, so the bolero is called the Rice Bolero, and it's a really simple make. It's summery. It's made out of Lion Brand Shubu. So lightweight, summery fabric, great for the heat. If you need something outside, or if you're at an event or something, that's going to be cool. Those instructions will come out, like I said, either June, because I don't have pattern releases or really any video patterns to release in June. So that written pattern will either be out in June or July. We'll see. But either way, I'll be posting about it in the community tab, and I'll probably put it up on Instagram. So keep an eye out. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, I usually let them know first, so they get kind of first dibs on new releases, whether they're free or paid. So that's another thing, I guess. That's another thing. What else am I working on? Because I feel like I had a whole list of things. Okay. Oh, okay. This is the last one that I'm actively working on, because I know I have like another pattern or two that I'm working on, or maybe that other pattern was my birthday sweater that I did that I never really showed off, and then it started heating up, and I'm like, well, you know, what's the point? I'll wait till fall. But if I can find the picture of it, I'll probably put it up on either side, because I was really proud of that. It's kind of like the thing I did for last 4th of July, but longer and hotter. But I really liked it, so maybe this year for my birthday I will wear it, hopefully, if I don't have class. But I think I do have class on my birthday this year, unfortunately. But okay, so before I hopped on camera here, did I lose a stitch mark? No. Okay, before I hopped on camera here to do this channel chat, I was recording the segment to pick up along the edge of my Genesis top, which I'll also be having a blog post. I think it comes out tomorrow, talking about it and some of my inspiration behind it. And then later on in the month of June, I'll have the material list out for you guys. That's scheduled up already. But I am just elated. I've tried this on a couple of times, honestly, and I love how it fits, but I'm just bringing it up a little bit because I don't like showing off a whole lot of skin, so that's just my thing. And so this one, I know I'm not releasing this until after I come off of hiatus in July, just because there's so many clips and segments to that tutorial that I don't want ample time to go through it and cut things out that maybe, you know, I don't need to be there, or if I like stop like I tend to do, or like I'm kind of doing throughout this video, then I can kind of cut those and just optimize things so that it can go in with the paid pattern. I don't know, I've been working on this since March, so it's almost bittersweet to be nearly done with this project. I had hoped to be done with it by the middle of May, but I was so busy and just everything. I think I was kind of in a state of overload as well, so that did not happen, needless to say. And then I thought I'd be done by the end of May, like literally today, and that is a big no. So I'm going to take the next month to type up the pattern, because I don't think I typed this one up. I typed up the Rice Bolero the other day. So that's done. I just need to put it in the PDF thing and pop it into InDesign and do all that fun fancy stuff to get that out there. And yeah, so anyway, there's a lot that goes on behind writing patterns and releasing them and all that. So I'll be releasing reels on Instagram and stuff to kind of promote this, but I don't know, I'm in love with the colorway. It's so bright, it's so vibrant, and I look forward to telling the story behind it. I also, as an extra here, this was not a planned part of this channel chat, I found my Joseph sweater. Speaking of like Bible things, I found it, and it's not that it was necessarily lost, but I stowed it away because I don't wear it that often. I originally made it to wear on my 21st birthday, and I pop the picture up all the time, but I stowed it away Can't tell you the last time I wore it. Probably, oh my god, wait. That was 2019 when I actually took that picture. Okay, so it's been about 3 years since I've worn the thing. It's been stowed away so it doesn't get damaged and things like that. And so in the deconstruction of my studio, I found the garment bag that it was in. And I don't know, I was just on a little field trip because I was excited for it. And is it out of reach? I don't know. Because I can see it. I can see it, but there's so much stuff you guys cannot see beyond this camera. Let me grab it. The sweater's not this big, I promise. Aye. The sweater's not this big, but I was like, I don't know, 40 pounds heavier too when I first made the sweater, so that's been a fun thing. I've been losing a lot of weight, not in a bad way, but definitely noticed it. If this thing comes apart one more time, I swear. Okay, anyway. This is my child. This is special to me for several reasons. One, because it's punny, but also it's just so vivid and colorful and unnecessarily bright, okay? And so whenever I wear this, I bought special like boots to wear with this because I had black jeans at the time and I needed some black like little short boot heel thingies, and I really like the ensemble. But I also love this because the fiber that I used is discontinued, unfortunately. I was happy that I had enough yarn at the time to finish it, because as you guys know, at least for the last couple of years, it's been a struggle with me and the yarns that I use for projects discontinuing suddenly. I think the first one was the dress that still, maybe that's the project. But anyway, the dress that's been put to the side indefinitely. Because I don't know, I keep working on other things and like the seasons, okay? I have to work within the seasons or else, I don't know. I don't know, I feel all off. But anyway, so that's been put to the side, and I'll probably end up wrapping that up and putting it in a garment bag because as stuff gets moved around and hauled out of here, I don't want it to get dust or anything on it per se. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about getting another mannequin or dress form at some point because this whole garment designing thing, I always have multiple garments going at one time and it gets a little chaotic. I got my first one in 2018. It looks like a lot of things, it looks like I got a lot of things done in 2018, to be honest. When it doesn't seem like it when I'm going through the like just years and not really thinking about it. But honestly, like I got my camera, I upgraded my camera because at first when I was, you know, starting the whole channel thing, I was using my phone, and then I wasn't because I upgraded my camera around my birthday. And then, I don't know, I got all my shelves together, more together than what they were in 2018, and I don't know, I started doing a lot of little things and building up my tech kits and stuff like that in 2018, so I don't know. After a while, I think, let me see, I started the channel in October, the 1st of October in 2018. So I think by the time, it was either late November or early December that I got this mannequin. I don't have a specific date for that. It wasn't necessarily a milestone thing, but it kind of was. Because at first, I was just pinning stuff to the corner behind my desk over there. And that was that. So I really needed the dress form, so I really probably should remember it, but oh well. I'm not a machine, and I have to remember that. So, I don't know, and then 2019 was really interesting because I set up and I just kind of explored my content. I used to post art videos and stuff like that, and I felt kind of bad about abandoning that, but as you like niche down and figure out what you want to do on your channel, some stuff just necessarily gets booted. And so I eventually started another channel for my artwork, but I honestly just haven't touched it in months, and so it's kind of a dead channel at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to actually get around to this whole entire long spreadsheet that I have written out and over on my table, my other table. I have a lot of tables. I don't know if I'm going to get to that portion of my list. I have like 30 days of off time. So we'll see what gets done and what doesn't get done. I'm just kind of going with the flow of things for now. Whatever happens, happens at this point. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love my sweater of many colors, okay? Like, I don't know, I didn't really want to do a coat. I wanted something that I can just throw on and wear because I was running around and on the bus and stuff like that. So this was made with Lion Brand Color Wave. I don't know why they said it was unpopular or whatever, why they discontinued it. It was not unpopular in my heart. This was the first garment that I actually made that was super colorful. I think it was also kind of the first year it was kind of coming out of my shell, so to speak. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm an awkward turtle. So it's very awkward growing up. And so anyway, I had a lot of introverted tendencies. And so I decided, since I was in art school, I should act like it. Though at the time I was pursuing art with teaching. And I'm glad, side note, I'm glad that I graduated with that particular degree when I did, because again, now I just don't want to teach. I don't, like, I like teaching on YouTube, but like now I don't know, I'm just conflicted about teaching in a classroom and all that jazz. But I talked about that in channel chat 95, so not gonna go over that again. But anyway, I figured since I was in art school, you know, to be an art teacher, I would dress like it. And this was so cool. I turned so many heads with this. I absolutely love it. And then I guess the second really bright, funky kind of thing I did was that kimono and skirt set that I made. I knitted that in 2019. I just graduated over the summer, and then I came back to do a portfolio event, and I decided to make my project. I wanted to stand out, and I did. I did. And that was great. That was a great experience, because I had my black stockings, I had my black heels that I'd actually bought for this, and I had a black shirt. But then the whole ensemble was made with this landscape yarn by Lion Brand. I guess that was also the year I started kind of switching around the Lion Brand too, as far as designs go. But anyway, I loved that one, and that one definitely was a showstopper. Conversation piece that was wearable, if you will. So that was fun. And then I guess this is my third really bright project, though most of my colors in my wardrobe, because I actually went through my wardrobe the other day, I have to say about 70% of that is black. I'm like, oh, okay, well, somebody was going through a phase, maybe, I don't know. It's not just a phase, though. Anyway, it just contrasts with my style choices, because usually when it comes to colors, I'll wear like green mostly. You guys can see behind me, my green collection is ridiculous. So I don't know, when it's not green or some kind of like maybe bluish color, I suppose, then I have to be extra from time to time and wear stuff like this. I can't wait to model this. This is going to be fantastic. Yeah, it's just going to be fantastic. I'm excited about it. As excited as I can be, I guess. So anyway, if you want to keep up with this project, check out my blog. Sign up for the newsletter. I'll be talking about it. Not non-stop, but I'll be talking about it a few times over the month of June. And then hyping it up on Instagram and probably Facebook. Though I think most of my engagement comes from YouTube and Instagram, according to my analytics. So definitely in those places. You can check me out on Pinterest, Telegram. I don't know, I have the card at the end of the video. That's another thing. I have to get business cards redone, because the ones that I had them done in 2020, and stuff has changed since then. 2020, I did not have my own website. That's for sure. And I was also on different social media somewhat. And I don't know if you can still find me under those usernames now, because some of them have changed. But anyway, that's just another task for another day, another project to do on my to-do list. I feel like that was probably all I wanted to talk about today, really. I just wanted to do a video because, again, there are so many new faces on my channel, and y'all don't always know the things that I do. And I don't know if that was a proper sentence, but I don't care. Look, I just take off in June each year just because I need a break. It's directly after the semester is over. There's nothing wrong I know I disappeared and like went out of orbit, but this what, March, February, March, whatever. But that was something totally different. Totally different. Usually I don't take off like that, and actually, you know, usually I'm pretty consistent, but as of late I have not been, and that's something that I want to actively work on. So this hiatus is important to me because I can sit up and focus on my content and the things I want to put out there for my community, and just continue doing this thing, because like I said back in March, I want to make this my full-time focus. I worked I worked in an office setting, and though that is my preferred, I guess, if I had to work a 9 to 5, that would be my preferred setting. But honestly, I like the idea a lot better, working for myself and creating things that other people enjoy. And I suppose that's also partly why I went into art teaching specifically, because I like being creative. I like being able to use my imagination with things and put my hands to things. And being an art teacher, that was something I felt like I can do through being an art teacher, and just like help kids use their imagination and things like that. And then, I don't know, 2020 shook things, and I think it shook things for a lot of people, but I started realizing a lot of different stuff that I knew in theory before then, but like really had the application put to it that year, that it's really kind of nice not having to get up and like go work a job that you probably wouldn't have chosen for yourself in the grand scheme of things. Nonetheless, yeah. So anyway, it's just been a joy, I think, through all the ups and deep downs of just writing patterns and creating content these last 4 years. It's been special. It's been special, but I also feel that, you know, this is a track that the Lord put me on, honestly, because I needed to grow as an individual, and I mean, kind of come out of that stuckness that I was in. And so I feel like I've been able to do that to some extent by getting out there, sitting on camera, talking to thousands of people. It's something to think about. It's just really something to think about as a person that's like really, really introverted, and not like, I wasn't antisocial, but I guess, I don't know, we moved around a lot, and it was always a thing about meeting new people or whatever. So I just grew up really like this, like a little anxious ball. And so I would definitely say since 2016, but definitely over the last 4 or so years that I've been doing the content thing, it's just been a growth experience. There we go. My English is returning. It's been a really fun ride, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, there were ups and downs and struggles and all that, but ultimately I'm getting where I want to go, and that's important to me. And then I have all of you guys out there who enjoy my content and like sitting up listening to me ramble for, I don't know how many minutes I've been talking. It's probably been 50. I don't know how many times I've had to restart this camera. So, but for whatever length, you guys like hear me talk, and I enjoy teaching you guys knit, crochet, and showing you guys what other crazy ideas I have with fiber arts. Hopefully I'll be doing this for years to come. Speaking of which, okay, right. I just mentioned that I was at 7,500 subscribers, and I know in the warm season it gets a little weird, gets a little slow, but I'm thinking that this year I might reach 10,000 subscribers, which reminds me of another point that I forgot, but okay. I always digress. But I think by the end of this year I might hit 10,000 subscribers, which would be super awesome. I'm also looking at my merch shop, which a lot of you probably don't even know I have, because I don't talk about it, and that's a problem with me. I don't really talk about my business. Oh, that's so bad. Not to the extent that I probably should, but it's like trying to find that balance of talking about my business and not like bugging people with it, you know. I don't want to be like spammy, but anyway, I do have a merch shop, but I am taking out most of my designs, because I've had a lot of them since 2018, and a lot of them require updates, and some of them just are obsolete. So I'm going to take out a lot of that, but stuff like my branded shirts that I did with my new logo, those will still be available. My podcast shirts will be available. I need to edit things. Anyway, that stuff will be available still, but most of the designs will be cleared out. That's one of my things on my I might get to that this hiatus thing, is redesigning some of my merch in my merch shop. So that's going to be a fun thing, and I believe when I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will release those designs, because then I can put them on the little shelf below the videos and people can see them. And maybe I don't have to talk about them as often. But it's definitely something on my to-do list, and I'll probably do videos about that on my other channel. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things that I want to get to, and I have to still remember that I'm one person, I'm one crafty, but I don't know. I kind of like the chaos of it. I kind of like the chaos of it. So anyway, I'll be knee-deep in graphic design this summer, and that's always fun. And yeah. Oh, I forgot. I acquired some things. 2 things in particular, and I did not grab them. In fact, they're way over there, so I'm going to jump up and get them. Okay, so I have this box, right? So earlier, what was it, the month of May? This head wrap is going to give me issues. Anyway, in the month of May, right, I got this magical email, and even though I just gotten my air conditioning fixed, replaced, and my door replaced, and a lot of other home improvement stuff done, I was like, they strike again. And so I couldn't resist a sale. Can I ever? I don't know. So you guys know I'm a sucker for Furls crochet hooks. I recently counted, and I have almost 20 of them, and I added to my collection because they have metal ones now, and I haven't used them. I plan to use them, but I have a feeling that they're a cross between, as far as like working with them, I feel like they're going to be a cross between the Odyssey hook and the Streamline, because these are Streamlines, okay? They're both Streamlines, but they made this new line out of aluminum, and the first day they sent them, they sold out of the sizes that I wanted. And I was so sad. I'm like, well, okay. But then, like, within a couple of days, they emailed again. They're like, oh, we're back in stock. And so I jumped on that because it's a new release, okay? So these are their aluminum hooks. And this is exciting because these you don't have to worry about dropping, which I do, and I almost did there quite frequently. But this is beautiful. It's shiny. I might do a close-up video of that because these never turn out right when I do them against me. But I got the 5mm one. This is the 5, and it's solid. Like, it has a little extra weight to it, unlike the resin ones that I work with. Like, they have weight, but when I'm working on, say, a blanket, compared to the blanket, I will lose that wooden hook or that resin hook in the work, and I won't feel it dangling around, and that's just a recipe for dropping them. However, this, you're not going to lose this in a project. So I'm excited to get started on these. I have been a long time fan of Furls, so that was pretty cool. No, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm a fan of the work. So, yeah, I have new hooks in my collection, which, oh my gosh, it reminds me of one of my art projects I want to get to. So some of you guys might remember those hook bowls that I made last year. I want to experiment with making those at home because I did buy a wheel in December and I just haven't gotten around. I haven't had the time to get into it. But anyway, I bought a wheel. So I want to get back into doing that, making those. And I want to see how they turn out when I test fire them. It's going to be really interesting. I'm going to do a pit firing, and you know, honestly, I think I have a thing for incorporating fire with my artwork. I have a couple of art projects that I have set on fire. Just anyway, I'm not an arsonist. I just like, I don't know, the effect. Okay. Anyway, it's just a weird artsy thing, I guess, for me. But these, I look forward. These are beautiful. I look forward to using these. I don't know which project they're going to end up in, but they are going to end up in a project this summer. So anyway, more details later. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to stop rambling. And until next time, guys, happy making, and thanks for watching.